Introducing Keenan Marquise Prudencio Feel the Burn Podcast. We talking about getting that Lombardi. You gon' need at least 15 straight. We talking about getting that Heisman. Bust it up right, then I hit him with the fade. Who gon' be the number one conference? Big 12 or the Big 10? ACC or the Pac-12? Now the SEC still gon' hell. When it comes to the course, we don't cover no records. We talking about brackets and getting buckets. Who gon' give us the player of the year? Do you think it's gon' be another Cinderella story? Will we see a repeat? Who gon' come out the East? Who deserves MVP in the summer's more? You tuned in to the hottest sports podcast out. Sit back and enjoy. Always bringing you the hottest takes. Break it down so you can relate. From the preseason to the champs come, we cover everything in between. Got the airwaves on lock with the best analysts in the game. Feel the Burn Podcast on. Turn it up and let the show begin.
Feel the burn. Feel the burn. Feel the burn. Behind the feel the burn. Yeah. Welcome to another episode of Feel the Burn, the hottest sports podcast out. I am the man with the plan, the host who does the most. My name is Prudencio Logan, and I'm joined by my two co-hosts.
Keith.
And Kanon Don.
And man, we got a full football show planned for you guys. And of course, we will start with the reigning, defending, national college football champions, the Georgia Bulldogs, who defeated Keith's Alabama Crimson Tide this past Monday to win their first championship in 41 years. And Georgia's on top. And I just want to come to you first, Keith, because you were so adamant about your prediction and Stetson Bennett and the defense in Alabama. What do you think about Georgia winning?
Well, the great thing I always say is that film don't lie. If you go back and watch last week's episode, go ahead. I said I want Georgia to win. I just don't think Bama would do it. I said Bama got to get to 30 to 40 points. They got to pick six to get to 30 to 40 points. Georgia played great. The mailman started off his first possession really shaky. He looked real nervous. A lot of Georgia fans were nervous, whether they want to admit it or not. But, hey, I'm a man of my word. They made enough big plays, and that was really the game. That was really the deciding factor. Georgia offense made enough big plays. Stetson Bennett hit Pickens that really opened up the gates with I think it was like a post route down the middle. If he had been strike, he would have scored. But however, Georgia made enough big plays to beat Alabama. Name of the game is injuries. I'm not saying that Georgia did not deserve. I'm just saying Georgia benefited from him being hurt. A fact is a fact. After he went out, anytime there was a contested ball, Alabama just didn't make plays. But Georgia won the game. Congrats, Georgia. I still stick with my pick. Georgia was the favorite. Was Georgia the favorite? Alabama the favorite?
Georgia was the favorite by 3.
All right. Hey, I thought Alabama was going to win. I take mine as a man. It's all good. Congrats. I'm glad you finally was able to be a champion. Long enough, but I'm happy for you.
Go Dogs. Keenan, how does it feel to get a championship in your first year of fanship with Georgia?
Now, Logan,
you should have went for Alabama. You should have went for Alabama.
No, I knew Georgia would win all along, man. Alabama defense them DBs was too injured. You can't win with them bag of DBs. And from what I seen against Michigan, I knew that Georgia would come out and have some success in the passing game. Like I told you, Keith, Georgia's defense was legit, man. Them boys legit. But I'm gonna say this: you better enjoy while it lasts, because next year it's over for. That was y'all last, the only one. It'll be another 41 years before y'all win another one.
We're going back to back.
Oh boy, nah.
See,
Nah.
a little bit harder. So Logan, let's ask you. If you don't know, he's a longtime Georgia Bulldog fan. You've come close, and I'm not throwing shade. You've come close to victory so often. What was your first reaction once you seen the ball go up and Georgia came down and he was running down the sideline for that pick six? What did it feel like to finally get over the hump?
I got the Georgia Fight song on my phone, and I think I played it for like an hour straight. It's only a 1 hour. It's only a 1 minute and 30-second song. So you can you can imagine that loop. How often it played the same beat over and over again. And I never got tired. I couldn't
So
straighten my Migos.
so
Man, I
when
would
did it
just
first feel real? Like when did it like when you actually sat there? It's like wow, we actually did it. Like when did it set in?
clock had hit zero.
Mm.
Clock had hit zero, man. And confetti started coming. It was just a real welcoming experience. I never tasted glory before. But while I was wrong with one prediction, while my hope got snatched away from me from the Chargers in the final 2 seconds of overtime, all they had to do was tie. We could have went into the playoffs. While my hope got snatched away from me, and they gave me a little bit of doubt heading into Monday, just because I had seen my precious Chargers fall the night before. I was a little shaky, but I wasn't shaky about Georgia. I was shaky just about myself. It's just I've seen it so many times before. I knew this was the team. I knew this was the team to win, but I've seen it so many times before. When Tua did it against us, and then when Tua got hurt and Jalen Hurts did it against us, and then every loss, 7 points or less, the Chargers have faced over the last so many years. I've seen it so many times. It was hard to get my hopes up, but of course, you guys know me. I got a head for a brick. Might as well. I never learn. And I'm always going to pick the Georgia Bulldogs to beat Alabama. How many times I see Alabama? I was sitting here and I was watching the game with someone, and they had said Alabama had beat Georgia 13 years in a row. And all the person could say was, damn, I didn't know it was like that.
I think you're validating my pick.
It just casted so much more doubt over me. But I knew sitting here watching this game, I just knew Georgia was gonna run wild. I just knew the tide. It just felt it as the game progressed along, as we continued to dominate along the way. My hope came back. I no longer faced the disappointment that I had with the Chargers. But I felt the glory that came with being a Georgia Bulldog fan finally. Tears, happiness, joy. Keith, you should come to the red side. Your team is not looking good. And while this is not about the Miami Hurricanes, while this is not about the Boise State Broncos that Keenan loves so much,
he's kidding me.
I just appreciate you guys' support throughout this journey. Go Dogs.
Well, let's clear one thing up. It felt good seeing the team that you love get that ring, right? I just know when Miami blesses us in 2.5 years, don't speak to me. I'm going to be annoying. Don't speak to me because it's going to be awful. I'm going absolutely.
With who?
Miami University of Miami. When the University of Miami in 2.5 years, maybe 3, gets that championship, I'm just telling you, I'm going crazy.
Every other college team was going to catch COVID or something.
A ring is a ring. Well, think about it. Georgia's going to get Georgia. No, that's what year is this? 2025. Alabama be on y'all side, so that cancels out one powerhouse. So I just worry about the Pac-12, Ohio State. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm good. Gotta keep hope alive. If Logan can keep hope for 40 years, I mean, I'm only on 20, so I really can't complain.
It's a new dawn. It's a new era. A new dynasty is in the air. Belongs in Athens, Georgia. The Georgia Bulldogs. Be on the lookout, fans. This is not something that you will forget. This is not something that you will never see again. This is something that will become the norm. 7, 8 years in a row. College football playoffs. Whatever. Georgia Bulldogs are going to remain on top. Saban's done. Alabama's done. Alabama's done. You heard it here first. Alabama's done. Georgia is the premier of the SEC. Okay, it's the premier of college football. You hear? Okay? You hear it here. Georgia is the premier of college football. Alabama's done. Ohio State, they can't even get past Michigan. Who are we talking about here? Cincinnati? Cincinnati's not even ranked in the way too early top 10 predictions. Who are we talking about? Michigan State? None of these teams amount to anything.
It's getting out of
Clemson?
hand.
I can't believe it. Clemson? Nothing. Georgia is the premier crop of college football. You heard it here first. Go Dogs.
I don't know which one's going to be more annoying, Alabama fans or Georgia fans.
Georgia.
Because now Georgians think they're like here, and Alabama's going to be, you know, while they was humble, I don't see them losing the next year. That's why I said a year and a half, because, you know, they still got Bryce Young. He's coming back. He has a great chance to be a back-to-back Heisman. Do you really think that y'all will like legitimately have another chance?
Keys. As long as the Georgia Bulldogs continues to play in the SEC, they will have a chance. It don't matter what team comes over. Texas, Oklahoma, Alabama, A&M, LSU, Mississippi State, Ole Miss. It don't matter what team they face.
Can you
Georgia
remember me
should be
telling you
favored.
how film? You
Georgia
remember me
should be
telling you how
favored.
film don't lie?
Georgia should be
Right.
favored in every game.
Do you remember maybe, you know, over the summer, he was so mad that Alabama might be coming to the West? You see what a victory does to somebody? They just get
Right.
delusional.
Get them out
They just
all the
get
way out of the
delusional.
way.
Just all the way delusional.
Keith, hear me out. Georgia's the premier crop. That's all you need to know.
You can
Lord
have fun on your
have
high horse. He'll be they'll bring it back to earth. Give
Yeah,
about
they
8
went
months.
real quick.
As
Yeah,
far
you
as
know
I know, who won the most recent championship? Who is the champion currently? The reigning defending champions of college football.
Oh, Lord.
Kenan, some of this is
Now I
your
wish
fault.
they lost. Now I wish
Told
they
you.
lost.
I told you.
I wish they lost now because he's
It's gonna be a long year.
Yeah, he gonna blow this out of proportion.
And don't worry, August, September, October, when we're 6-0, 7-0, 8-0, you will still believe the hype, Keys. You will still get a chance to be a fan because this hype train is not going to cut off for anybody. Keenan,
It will.
once you understand, Keenan, once you get past your just disdain for Florida, and once you see what real football looks like, you'll be able to come to our side as well.
No.
Keys, once you give up hope, once you understand that you guys are only the fourth best team in the state of Florida, y'all can come too. You
Who's
can come
better
join
than
us
us?
as well.
Who's
So-
better than us?
Florida State, Florida,
Cap.
Central Florida.
That's big cap.
South Florida.
Might as well be South Florida, Florida Atlantic.
I mean, if you gonna do that, you might as well
Florida,
throw FAMU.
That's Stetson University.
Not
FAMU.
too worried. We're going to win the ACC, so I'm not too worried. We got the best quarterback in the conference. Not worried at all.
It's okay, man. We have a whole year to think
Was
about.
this
how
the
you
first
guys can-
championship? Is this the first championship where the worst quarterback won the championship?
I think so. In a long
As
time.
far as I know, the mailman, he delivered. Okay, the mailman delivered. So we're talking about best quarterback, worst quarterback. He didn't throw 2 picks. Okay, your Heisman sweetheart threw 2 picks. Okay, the little 5'9" quarterback in my height, he threw 2 picks. All right,
5'9". You playing 5'9"?
he's 5'11" with cleats on.
Hold on, though.
You not 5'9", so you still wrong.
Oh, no,
I'm the
Keith.
tallest person. I'm the tallest person on this chat right now.
You're shorter than me and Keenan.
Keys, we have pictures standing next to each other.
Your head is bigger.
With that hat, you might be taller than me. That's about it.
But time out. I'm not gonna let Keith get through what he said now. I'm not gonna go back. Y'all got the best quarterback in the ACC?
Yeah. Our quarterback threw 8 games over 300 yards.
He still won't
As
be
a
the best
freshman.
quarterback in the ACC.
Who's going to be a better quarterback?
DJ will be better. Watch.
DJ Olalalele is not better than Van Dyke.
DJ will surpass him. Watch.
He's not. I'm not worried.
We
at
will
all.
see. We will see. Watch.
You
DJ
right.
gonna
He'll
have
definitely see.
DJ gonna have a 5 touchdown game on y'all this year.
You guys talking about this football
that
you guys talking about this football that don't matter. The only football that matters right now is the highlights.
Can we get to the next segment?
To the college football championship, baby.
Oh my god.
This is your fault, Kenny. You boosted this up.
I just knew it was coming.
Shock the system.
But I didn't think he would get this out of hand.
I don't know why you were surprised.
Yeah.
You know, the funny part is, Kenny, he had a real close chance of being miserable.
Oh, yeah.
The Chargers when the Chargers lost and Georgia would have lost. Oh, it would have been a quiet week.
We probably would never heard from
we probably wouldn't have did this show.
Right.
We would have waited till the NBA Finals.
It's okay. We don't get to talk about what ifs because in reality, the reality of things, okay, is that the reigning defending champions of college football are the Georgia Bulldogs. And on that note, we can move on.
Oh God.
I will move on for you guys, even though we could talk about Georgia this whole show. But we are going to talk about the NFL right now. And like he says, we'll start with the bad before we move on to the good. And the bad right now is that there is one active black head coach in the NFL. Mike Tomlin of the Pittsburgh Steelers is the only black head coach in the NFL. After Brian Flores of the Miami Dolphins and David Culley of the Houston Texans were both fired. Now, Flores, real questionable firing. Culley, he got fired in his first season, and that's not fair either. So, we'll come to you first, Keenan. What do you think about the state of the NFL right now in terms of the head coach?
Man, they gotta figure something out. I feel like I'm not trying to call them racist, but like black African American coaches get a shorter leash than other coaches. It seems like you said, Cuddy got fired after the first season with what on his team? He didn't even have a chance to really have a talented roster or have somewhat of a playable roster. The Detroit Lions was better than his team. Like, come on now. You didn't even not give him a fresh shot. And even though with what he had, he still pulled together, 2 or 3 wins. He surprised the Chargers. So, why not see what he can do if you build a team for him? Because they did start playing hard at the end once they got rid of some pieces, but that was wrong. And then the Flores move, it shocked me. I didn't see that one coming. He turned around our franchise, really. He kind of changed the culture of that franchise because the state of the Miami Dolphins was worse than the Miami Hurricanes. I don't know what was going on at the Dolphins, but Flores has changed their culture. Sorry, Keith. Flores changed their culture, and I believe Flores would have really had a shot to make the playoffs next year if they would have kept him. But I think he would get a job. He would be probably the first coach to come out the wire and getting a job next season, before next season.
Marquise, we'll come to you now. You have some opinions about this take. So what do you think about Flores and Culley and the state of the NFL in terms of the black head coach?
So I'm going to start with the Miami Dolphins first. So I think what's worse about these fires are they go out and they make a statement saying, oh, we appreciate all the hard work they've done, this, that, and the third. And then they made basically they listed his resume. And so while he accepted the job, every job, I think we can all agree, doesn't have the same level of difficulty. When he first got there, they got rid of Minka Fitzpatrick. They got rid of Kenny Stills. Let's not forget how they were able to get Waddle and Tua. Those weren't them just being sad. They cleaned house. Matter of fact, they sent Tunsil to the Texans and got us to get more draft capital. So in his second year, I think they 5-11. He literally had to deal with a quarterback room where you have a rookie quarterback that was coming off of a hip surgery. You have Jacoby Brissett. That team had, for them to have the success that they did even last season, you would be like, wow, he did a great job. Matter of fact, he was a Coach of the Year nominee. So I don't see how he go from that and then they start off slow this year and they go on a winning streak, and then you fire him. Makes no sense. So we're going to list if we're going to go and we're going to make statements and talk about him as a special teams coach and this, that, and the third. Tell us what the job he did do. He changed Miami Dolphins around. Miami Dolphins is a young team. They got Will Fuller. They added talent outside. They're literally, and then more importantly, he's 4-2 against Bill Belichick, the guy that's ran the AFC East for the last 25 years. So I really don't see how you fire Flores. I truly don't. Now, unless it's something that they're purposely not saying, that's awful. To get to the Texans, not to get too in their situation, but you lose a top 8 quarterback. Would y'all agree that Deshaun Watson was a top 8 quarterback? All right. Before he accepts the job, your previous coach gets rid of a top 3 receiver for a second round pick? And David Johnson?
2 and a 4.
Come on. And then not only that, you lose your defensive end. J.J. Watt goes to the Cardinals. That team had no type of hope, no type of chance to win. And to fire a man in one season, coming off of all the transitions that you have, I don't understand how it's not right for him to fire the head coach. I truly don't understand it. Makes absolutely no sense. So at some point, while we want everybody to get opportunity to accept jobs, this, that, and the third, the way the NFL is turned is you might have 2.5 years and you got to show some type of hope. If Brian Flores can get fired after 3, with being 4-2 against the best head coach in the league, going on a win streak at the end of his third season, after they were doing a rebuild, why would I? You can't put yourself in a predicament to be on a short lease. That's just the name of the game. If I'm going to be on a short leash, it takes 3 to 4 years to not only for draft, but to get the players you need in for your system. You're never going to have time. It's like you're building system and developing players for the next head coach. That's not something that you need to be. You got to be really considerate of.
This is why a franchise like the Miami Dolphins is a mid franchise, a franchise that will always be mid because they have no stability. You have a coach, you have a rough first year, but then you go 10-6 with Fitzpatrick. When Fitzpatrick and Tua last year, they go 10-6 with Fitzpatrick and Tua. Tua's all banged up, but you got Ryan Fitzpatrick there having a good time. Defense playing well. This year they start off bad. I think they started off 2-7. Touchdown Philadelphia Eagles, Boston Scott. They started off like 2-7, went on the win streak, and were just a couple of scenarios out of being in the playoffs. Fire the coach. Outrageous. You get a coach first year, you hire him. First year, you fire him. And it doesn't make any sense. Especially with the state of the Houston Texans, with everything that their coach did previously with trading Hopkins and trading and getting and Watt leaving and just making bad personnel decisions and not having a quarterback take over when Deshaun Watson was out. Houston wasn't supposed to be successful this year, but it's unfair of them to only give that coach a very limited season to do so, to really prove himself. Both situations are messed up. Hopefully both coaches land on their feet. I believe Brian Flores will probably get a job this offseason for a head coaching position. I wouldn't be surprised to see him in Chicago, something like that. Chicago seems like a good place for him. But we'll see. We'll move on from coaches now to talk about and finish up with the NFL playoffs. We had day 1 of the NFL playoffs yesterday. We're recording right now, Sunday, in the middle of the Eagles and Bucks game. Day 1 yesterday, we'll talk about the bad first, and then we'll talk about the semi-good, the bad. The New England Patriots. 47-17 loss to the Buffalo Bills. And you can probably say that the AFC runs through Buffalo now. The AFC East runs through Buffalo. Josh Allen, 5 touchdowns, 4 incompletions. Buffalo scored touchdowns on their first 6, something like that. First 5 drives, touchdowns. Dawson Knox, 2 touchdowns. Buffalo just devoured the Patriots, 179 yards on the ground.
They actually ran the ball on the Patriots.
5 touchdowns from Josh Allen.
Just go ahead and
179 yards on the ground from the running game.
2 rushing TDs from the running back.
Go ahead and ask.
They're like scolded forever.
Keith, we know you're not that upset because your precious Cowboys do play. But as a former Patriot fan, when Tom Brady was running around town, how does it feel to experience such a loss? How does it feel to figure out to experience something that you've never experienced before?
Well, when you look, I think at halftime it was 28-0. But if you really watched it, the game was probably over 21-0, somewhere around there. You knew the Patriots had no shot. So you have a longer time to develop these, these clarity moments where you're just going to be like, you know what? It's really not our year. You have the second best quarterback. They have the best receiver, and they were at home. There's nothing else to say, really. They played way better. They got their ass beat. Happens. Hopefully next year it doesn't happen again. We're going to see them. But I think at this particular moment, yes, the AFC East finally has changed course. And no longer is the Patriots. It does go through Buffalo. Josh Allen, just different. Definition of different. He fits Buffalo from a weather standpoint, from an athletic standpoint. He is the perfect. And while people, joked or tripped about it when they first drafted him, he's perfect for Buffalo, like absolutely perfect. So they finally got us when it mattered in the playoffs. I know they're ecstatic. Let's see if they're gonna be a favorite in the AFC or in the AFC during this playoff run. So, hey, you got your ass beat. You got to be able to get back up and keep on going.
Keenan, should the Buffalo Bills be considered the favorites in the AFC?
They actually could be, man. Like, their defense was playing ball yesterday. Their defense continued to play like they did. That was on fire. You could tell early that, man, they came to play. Even the special teams came to play. They was rolling. And then, like he said, with Josh Allen, man, he's entering uncharted territory right now, the way he's playing. If he can continue that level of play, the way he did against a decent defense in the Patriots, if we're being honest, he shredded the Patriots defense. He made them look like they wasn't the Patriots. If he can continue to do that, because I can't really think of a defense that's in the AFC right now that was better than the Patriots this year. I really can't think of one. Not even Kansas City. Like, I can't think of one. So if Josh Allen can continue to play like that, they finally got their run game going. I ain't never think I would see Buffalo run the ball, especially as much as they did for how much they did. Getting 2 rushing touchdowns, not just on Josh Allen's legs, but with an actual running back. How can you beat them? I don't see how can you beat them. And you game planning not only for a pocket passer quarterback, but a quarterback that is not afraid to use his legs. You know how dangerous that is? That
Very
is
tough. 6'6", 240 is hard to bring down.
And he don't slide. He don't like to slide.
And he don't slide.
He's looking to run over. Right.
That's an extra 2-3 yards every time he runs.
Right. And then you have a receiver in Diggs. He got a receiver in Diggs that can get open at any moment. That is hard to cover. J.C. Jackson had a rough time, it looked like, every time Diggs got a target. Then not only Diggs, you got a compliment with Dawson Knox coming through the middle, through the seams, playing ball with speed. Then you got Emmanuel Sanders, who's, his resume speaks for itself. Is a solid number 2-3 receiver. Man, it's gonna be hard, man. Cole Beasley, Even Isaiah McKenzie showing up. He got the weapons. They got a decent enough defense. He killing me with the Georgia. They got a decent enough defense, and they now have a running game where they can really keep a team off balance. I don't see how you can beat them. And then with a coach like Sean McDermott, I don't think he gets enough credit for the job he has done in Buffalo. Sean McDermott is probably one of my favorite coaches in the league, other than Mike Tomlin, which you know they're best friends. So, you know, it makes sense for his mindset to be where it is. But it's going to be tough to beat Buffalo, and I would say Buffalo is the favorite right now in the AFC.
It will be interesting going forward with the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen is definitely making a claim for top 5 quarterback. He's definitely making a claim for top 3. If we're being honest, you know, whoever you talk to those fans up in Buffalo, I'm sure they're taking Josh Allen over anybody.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll see what the Bills have for the next round as we move forward. But we'll talk about the other game from yesterday. I was about to call them the Oakland Raiders. The Las Vegas Raiders versus the Cincinnati Bengals. We had another great showing from another young quarterback, Joe Burrow, making a claim for a top 10 quarterback. And Bengals' first playoff victory in 31 years. Defeat the Raiders. Bengals looking hot, man. The Bengals are looking good. They're explosive. They got 3 good receivers. They got a run game. And they got the quarterback. They got Joe Ice, Joe Money. Joe Burrow is carrying on from what he did at LSU and taking it to the next level here in Cincinnati. Keith, what do you think about Joe Burrow so far? What do you think about his playoff debut, getting the Bengals his first win in 31 years?
Well, isn't he from the state of Ohio as well?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, he's going to get all the love and support from the state of Ohio just in general. But he played really well. He played really well in his first playoff game. Didn't make too many mistakes. Didn't overtry. I think the Raiders caught some bad breaks. The Raiders also beat themselves. But that's the name of the football. That's the name of the game. So Joe Burrow, him having Jamar Chase, T. Wiggins, also having Mixon in the backfield. He has a solid support system right in terms of weapons. I don't think they're ready yet to make that push to say Super Bowl contenders, but the AFC North is going to be very tough. The teams that should be scared the most is Cleveland. They might have the worst quarterback in the division. Joe Burrow played really good in his first playoff game. What about you, Kenan? Even though that's your rival.
I hate to say it. What's scary too, if you watch that game, only really Jamar Chase and CJ was the only was the only ones that really made big plays. They didn't have their best game. I didn't see them have their best game. That was not their best game yesterday, and they still won. Like you said, you can't play mistake-free football, and that's what the Bengals did. The Bengals was mistake-free. The Raiders wasn't. Raiders had like 3 or 4 drives stalled out off of false starts, holding calls. When they did get a good play, a penalty. I mean, the third quarter, I seen so many yellow flags. I thought the Steelers was out there. It was ridiculous. You can't play like this, especially in the playoffs. Yes,
on the
Raiders,
road.
Right, on the road as well, where you're not going to get as many favorable calls anyway. You can't give them a reason. You let that crowd become a factor, and, you're not going to win like that. Yes, I commend the Raiders for making it to the playoffs with all they went through this year, but you can't. In the playoffs, everything is off the table. Receivers was dropping passes. A penalty seemed like it occurred every drive they had. And then their defense just couldn't cover. Their defense really couldn't cover. Cincinnati dropped a lot of balls yesterday that could have been – their score could have been way worse than what it was. Although they did have a chance, their score could have been way worse. And the Raiders still did have a chance at the end. But like you said, I don't think Cincinnati is ready to take their next step. They're good. They're trending upward right now. but I don't know if they're ready to take that next step. And I think that injury to Odin Joby, the D tackle, is going to hurt them in the next round, despite who they play. Whoever they play is going to hurt them at missing the D tackle.
The Bengals look good. The Bills look good. It's fun to see a changing of the guard in the AFC, ain't it?
No.
You know, we had the Steelers and the Ravens and the Patriots for so long. Now you got new teams coming along. Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen, Bengals, Joe Burrow. But as things change, some things remain the same. And that is Tom Brady winning in the wild card round. As the Tampa Bay Buccaneers lead 31-7 with about how much time is it? About 8 minutes, about 6 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. Eagles have the ball, but this game's basically wrapped up. The Bucs will move on. Can you bet against Brady? Personally, no. All right. You know, Brady he just won a Super Bowl last year. Again, he just threw for 5,000 yards as a 44-year-old, right? How can the Bucs not be the favorites to win the Super Bowl this year? Keith, as a former Patriot fan, as a former Tom Brady lover, how can you bet against Brady this season? How can you bet against the Bucs this year?
I don't think you're necessarily betting against Brady. You're betting against injuries and health. As you seen early in the first quarter, they had Tristan Wirfs go down with an injury. You go on the goal line, Jensen go down with an injury. While Mike Evans is back with with Antonio Brown no longer being there, I do think, and then Leonard Fournette, you know, they hope that they can get him back as well. I think the only reason you would bet against, you're not betting against Brady, but the only reason you would bet against the Buccaneers is literally health.
Keenan, are the Eagles the biggest surprise this year?
In the NFC, they kind of are. I don't really call them a big surprise. They played their way into the playoffs. They did deserve an opportunity to make it. They did deserve to be here. I don't know if they're a big surprise. I mean, everybody else in the NFC kind of took a step back, such as like Seattle. That was a more surprise than the Eagles winning, was Seattle not having a great season. We knew what we was gonna get out of the NFC North, which is Green Bay. We knew Detroit wasn't gonna win. We don't really buy into the whole Kirk Cousins in Minnesota all the way. You know, although they do have an electric offense with Dalvin Cook and Justin Jefferson and Thielen. The NFC South, the Saints going through a rebuild basically with quarterback play. Jameis going down kind of hurt them. So we really didn't see them in it, although their defense did play. Their defense played pretty well. The Falcons was all I know for the Falcons is Peaks and Patterson. That's all I can say. But everybody else, I kind of figured out who was gonna be there. It was just a matter of the NFC East. You know, with Keith's favorite team, the Cowboys. And you got them other boys. You know, you never know who's gonna come out of there. But the Eagles they benefited from their division. They had a pretty good year this year, although they going down now. Their rushing game, they found something with Jalen Hurts, I believe, Miles Sanders, Howard, and then they got a special boy in there, Devontae Smith from Alabama, as I just got the 2-point, I believe.
Ooh.
Yeah, I just saw it. Devontae Smith is special. I think they got to get them some more weapons because them receivers them other guys they're not there yet. A lot of the mistakes today has been off of stop running routes, not catching the balls, some missed throws, but Eagles gonna be straight in the future for sure. Oh, what a catch.
Man,
They might
what
be
a
even
play.
better. The biggest turnaround for even the Eagles was they started to run the football.
Right. You're right.
I know it's a passing league, but if you notice, when they actually started to run the football, offense played better, throwing lanes get bigger, defense doesn't get as tired as quickly. I think if they're able to stay with that philosophy, get some more help in, I guess on defense in terms of linebacker play, line getting a little older, but The Eagles they're not in bad position. And as long as the Giants are there, they're going to be, top 2, top 3. So
you got to do the Giants like that, man.
Real quick question, last question about the Eagles. Is Jalen Hurts going to be the quarterback next season?
Yes.
All right, cool. Glad we all agree on that. They would be, I think, a fool to not bring him back next season.
They need to give him some more weapons.
Yeah.
Receiver help.
Get him some playmakers on the outside. Devontae Smith is a good start. Goddard's cool, but you need to get some players. You need to get some offensive guys, get some support out there for Mr. Hurts. All right, next question. What's the next game? Next game, we got the San Francisco 49ers taking on the Dallas Cowboys. That game hasn't started yet. I'm going to roll with Dallas. I'm going to roll with the Cowboys. I think they have a good team. And I really don't think Jimmy Garoppolo is worth anything. I don't think he's good enough to carry and pass the Cowboys this year. I think he's going to give Trayvon Diggs another pick, get Trayvon Diggs talking. I think Michael Parsons is going to have a good game. Yeah, give me the Cowboys. I'm rolling with Dallas. Kenny, who you got?
I hate to say it, but I think the Cowboys will beat San Francisco too. I'm not a big believer in Jimmy G. He can prove me wrong. I'm kind of hoping he proves me wrong, but I'm not a big believer in Jimmy G. Although Deebo Samuel's gonna have a big game today, because if D is following him, D can't hold Deebo. It's just D really can't hold no receiver. He just benefits off a bad QB play, if we're being honest. But I got the Cowboys. Cowboys by 3.
Cowboys by 3. Give me Dallas 27-17. Give me 10. Keith, who you got?
Well, I think we all know Dallas's history of not winning and all that good stuff. I do think today they're in a favorable matchup. I think Dallas is going to get that out of the way. I think the key to the game is if Dallas's defense can try to eliminate the run to put more pressure on Jimmy G to pass. I think it's going to be very interesting to see where Parsons plays most of the day. Is he playing that end? Is he playing linebacker so he can go sideline to sideline? I think that'd be the key to the game for the Cowboys. If you can eliminate the run to prevent the play action game, which will I won't say eliminate Kittle, but it definitely slows that process down. I think Dallas will be in great position to win this game. 24. Give me 24-13 Dallas.
Doesn't seem like we got a lot of belief in the offense of the 49ers this game. I think Deebo Samuel has a good game. I think the 49ers are able to run the ball a little. But I think it ultimately comes down to Jimmy G and how he plays. And I think we're all taking Dak over Jimmy G. Really can't go wrong there. We're going to talk about the next game, the Sunday night game. The Kansas City Chiefs against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers get in after the Chargers lose to the Raiders last week. Congratulations to the Steelers as they make it to the playoffs. But I think it will be short-lived, and Ben Roethlisberger will lose to Patrick Mahomes today. And give me the Kansas City Chiefs over the Pittsburgh Steelers. If Tyreek Hill plays, if Travis Kelce plays, if Patrick Mahomes plays, give me the Chiefs. Keith? Should the Chiefs be considered the most dangerous team in the AFC? Should they be considered the Super Bowl favorites this year? Or should their defense is their defense too much of a liability to believe in the Chiefs this season?
I think that's the biggest difference between the Chiefs and the Bills. I just don't trust the Chiefs' defense. While they play pretty good as of late, not taking that away from them, I just don't feel that if they lose, it's not going to be of offense. It's going to be of defense, where the team is having time of possession, they're able to run the ball, and they'll be able to keep the ball out of the Chiefs' offense. So in terms of favorite, I don't think they're a favorite. They have a chance, but I don't think they should be the favorite.
Keenan, can the Chiefs defense play good enough this postseason to win them another Super Bowl?
I hope not. I don't trust their secondary at all. If we do what we're supposed to do, we won't be talking about the Chiefs after today. If we do what we're supposed to do, to go out there and handle business, we won't be talking about the Chiefs. Therefore, I'm not even picking the Chiefs to win. We're going to surprise the world, and we're going to beat the Chiefs today. We're going to go into Kansas City. Big Ben's going to pull one out of his hat, and we're going to go crazy today. You know I'm going with the Steelers. Don't ask me about the Chiefs. I don't trust their defense. I don't trust their secondary. The front line, the front seven is pretty solid with Melvin Ingram and Chris Jones, but their secondary is suspect. Buffalo's secondary is better even with Tre'Davious White out. So,
just imagine if he was healthy.
Man, I said that yesterday when I was watching that game. I said, Jesus. So, Buffalo is still the favorite in the AFC to me, although Tennessee is number one. I don't buy to Ryan Tannehill either. I'm still got Buffalo as the favorite. If the Chiefs defense can some way force turnovers via the front seven, then they have a chance. But we're going to shock them today, and they won't make it out the wild card. Here we go, Steelers.
You can't be mad at a man for believing his team. That's all I'm about. Believing in my team, because ain't nobody else gonna believe. So Kenan, I endorse your belief, and I'll go with the Steelers today. Give me the Steelers off of pure emotion. Off of pure emotion, because I don't like the Chiefs.
Juju coming back today too.
That don't mean nothing.
It does.
You should have kept that in yourself.
No.
It does.
Just for that, we ought to pick the Chiefs.
Nah, he's just gonna go out there. If
does.
Juju come out there, he goes Corvette out there in the middle of the field.
Y'all killing me. Every receiver out there do the same TikTok, and y'all just amplify because it's Steelers. I don't want to hear that.
Nah, Juju play for TikTok.
The other receivers
TikTok
are good.
Let me tell you something. Juju is going to help their receiving core. A receiving core with Deontay Johnson and Claypool. Washington really hasn't had a good year, and McLeod was our other receiver. Juju's going to open it up. He will. It don't matter.
See.
We'll see. Yeah, you're going to see.
We'll see. I'm going more on the Najee Harris side. I wrote with Najee Harris being the reason the Chiefs win tonight. Keys, who you got? Chiefs and not the Chiefs, that the Steelers win tonight. Keys, who you got? Chiefs or Steelers?
I actually was going to pick the Steelers to win the game. Honest to God's truth, I actually had the Steelers winning this game. I think if you're able to get pressure to Patrick Mahomes, I think that you have a really good shot to win this game. And when you have the defensive player of the year, hopefully, I think you have a great chance to win this game. They have experience. They have a veteran quarterback who's on his last leg, literally and figuratively. I think with them having the best, I think Najee Harris would be the key to be able to control the clock. Be able to control the clock, limit the time of possession, keep the game low, try to make the Chiefs win, 17-13, 20-13, 20-10, whatever. I think this game actually favors the Steelers.
And stop the run.
Yeah. Or attack Sorensen, whichever one you want to do.
So what are we picking? Steelers or Chiefs?
I'm picking the Steelers.
So we got 3 Steeler picks here. I'm picking the Steelers because Keenan picked the Georgia Bulldogs, solely based. You get one run root for. So I root for the Steelers today. Steelers over Chiefs. Steelers over Chiefs, Keith says. Steelers over Chiefs, Keenan says. When we put out the clip tomorrow, we'll see how right we were about this prediction. Because logic says pick Patrick Mahomes. But non-logical people are the host of this show.
I went the wrong way. That way.
So, as far as non-logical people go, give me the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yes, sir.
Then what? There's one more game left, right, on Monday. The Rams versus the Cardinals. Is that the only game on Monday?
Yeah.
Yeah. Rams, Cardinals.
That's going to be a good one.
I think
Isn't the Rams the home
you know
team?
what? You know what?
Yep.
I got one reason that I'm picking the Rams. It's not because of Aaron Donald. It's not because of Jalen Ramsey.
Oh my God, he's about
It's
to
not
say
because
Matthew
of Matt
Stafford.
Stafford. It's because of the new signed free agent. One of the best safeties of all time. Eric Weddle. Weddle's beard is back on the Rams. And he's going to, you know what? Rams going to the Super Bowl.
He gonna get a pick six. Well, they're gonna get a pick six.
Hey, tomorrow.
Don't start.
Tomorrow, Weddle's beard, he gonna make an impact. He gonna make an impact on that game tomorrow.
We were doing so good. Let's not start with that.
No. We all just picked the Steelers to beat the Chiefs. We gotta take it another step further.
No, that's true.
Eric Weddle.
That is true.
Eric Weddle.
Hey, y'all would not downplay my boys like that, bro.
Eric Weddle is going to be the player of the game tomorrow.
Yeah.
He's going to lead the
How many
Rams.
snaps? How many snaps you think he's going to get?
I think he'll start at safety.
Both of their safeties are out.
I think he'll start at safety. I think
He's
he'll
gonna
get
mess
himself a
around and
pick.
start tomorrow.
Weddle gonna get a pick and a sack tomorrow.
All right, now look.
Kyler Murray.
To these Tebow, we're getting real close to the Tebow takes.
Kyler Murray.
Let's not regress.
Kyler Murray ain't never seen a player like Eric Weddle before, and he's gonna be in trouble tomorrow.
The same height as him.
Rams and Jalen Ramsey, and Aaron Donald, and Eric Weddle come out, and Von Miller. Oh my God, Eric! There's just so much, Matt Stafford, Von Miller, Cam Akers returning, Odell. Man, give me the Rams. Big tomorrow. Big. Give me the Rams big tomorrow. Blowout. Los Angeles Rams. It's going to be a blowout because of Eric Weddle.
It's not going to be a blowout because of Matthew Stafford.
Matt Stafford going to throw for 400 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 picks.
Oh, no. It's not Josh Allen. It's not Aaron Rodgers.
It's Matt Stafford.
I love Stafford to death, but ain't no way.
Doesn't he? Isn't he? He doesn't have a playoff win under his belt, right? He's been to the playoffs twice.
Does Kyler Murray have a playoff win under his belt?
No. We're talking about a guy that's been in the league for a long time versus a guy still on his rookie contract. So
we're talking about a guy that's played for the Detroit Lions his whole career.
So currently,
might as well have been a left tackle for the Miami Hurricanes.
So currently, he has 0 wins under his belt, playing the biggest game he's ever played against a very competent Arizona Cardinals. And he's been struggling as of lately. So I agree with you, Kenan. If the Rams are going to win, it's not going to be big. It's going to be close.
It's going to be close.
The Rams are going to win. Von Miller, Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey, Odell, Stafford, and new acquisition, Weddle's beard, one of the best safeties of all time. I think the Rams are going to make a run to the Super Bowl. You guys want to talk about Super Bowl picks, or you want to wait to the division round?
No, we can wait one more.
We're going to wait one more week to give Super
Bowl
the Rams predictions. We're going to wait one more week to get Super Bowl predictions. Because guess what? My pick may change next week. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if my pick changes. I don't have a horse in this race, so my pick can change up until the Super Bowl. I'm going to get this pick right. I'm going to win the Super Bowl. I'm going to make a correct Super Bowl pick. And you're going to hear it here first on this show. Whether it's this week, next week, the week after that, right now, give me the Rams. Give me the Rams as the favorites.
You have the Rams the favorite to win?
Give me right now, give me the Rams.
Is 12 not at Green Bay no more?
Is 12 not in Tampa Bay anymore? Shoot.
Because I did 12. 12 and 17.
That's the 12 that matters.
12 and 17.
Nah, 12 in Tampa Bay if you're going to talk about a 12. 12 in Green Bay hasn't won since we was in middle school.
Dang, that's unfortunate too.
We all adults now.
I'm gonna blame that organization. I'm not gonna.
You can blame whoever you want. I'm not blaming Matthew Stafford because Give me the Rams right now. But if the Rams lose, then we'll talk about it again differently next week.
You got the Rams winning?
I believe so. I think it's gonna be close. The last time they played, it was a 7-point win by the Rams because Kyler Murray threw 2 interceptions and no touchdowns. Arizona missing a lot of weapons. Yeah, I'm gonna go Rams.
Keys, who you got?
Go Rams.
I actually think the Rams are going to win.
So we got
aren't they the home team as well? Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's really hard to even just pick against the home team in a new stadium with all those stars that are ready to come out. I think it's going to be hard for the Cardinals to win.
So is that a consensus pick for us on the Dallas Cowboys, a consensus pick for us on the Pittsburgh Steelers, and a consensus pick for us all on the Los Angeles Rams? So that means that the Cardinals, the Chiefs, and the 49ers are going to win. We'll see. Should be an interesting outcome. We'll give official Super Bowl picks next week. We'll give a Super Bowl picks next show. Official Super Bowl picks. Guys, let's feel the burn. We talked about the best team in college football, the Georgia Bulldogs. We talked about the unfortunate situation in the NFL revolving around the black head coach. And then we started talking about some NFL playoffs. Got some interesting games going on, some coming out parties. The Bucs and the Eagles just wrapped up. Bucs win 31-15. So the Bucs will move on to the next round. You got Josh Allen and the Bills moving on to the next round. Joe Burrow and the Bengals moving on to the next round. And we got 3 more games left until the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. I have no hot take this week. My hot take was halfway true last week. I said the Chargers will win a Super Bowl. I said Georgia will win the national championship. Well, the Chargers didn't make the playoffs. So that was incorrect. But Georgia did win the championship. So I got half of my hot take correct. I have no hot take this week. Keith, do you have a hot take?
This Super Bowl will have 2 new teams.
That's it?
That's my take. That's my take.
What does 2 new teams mean? Like,
meaning we're not going to see the Chiefs and we're not going to see Tampa Bay.
Oh, so 2 new teams from last year.
Yep.
All right. Keenan?
I got 3 hot takes.
3.
1, yes. 1, Brian Flores will get the Chicago job and take them to the Super Bowl. I mean, not the Super Bowl, but take them to the playoffs.
All right.
2, the Steelers are going to upset the Chiefs, and we're going to sneak into the Super Bowl. 3, the Los Angeles Lakers is finna break up their whole team. Those are my 3 takes.
We'll give you some more Lakers stuff next week. How about that? We'll give you some Lakers stuff next week. We'll talk about the Lakers next week. We got to talk about the most dangerous player in the league, Russell Westbrook.
Lord have mercy.
Y'all got to stop trying this, man.
Russell Westbrook.
We'll talk about that. Ridiculous, man.
Y'all got to stop trying this, man.
We'll talk about that guy next week. But as for right now, this has been Feel the Burn. I am the man with the plan, the host who does the most. My name is Prudencio Logan. You can find me on Twitter at Prudencio_Logan and on Instagram at Prudencio.Logan. Keith, where can they find you?
On Twitter, just _Keith_. And on Instagram, Keith, 2 Q's, 2 U's, 2 I's, 2 S's, and an underscore.
You heard him. Just _Keith_ Twitter. And on Instagram, Keys, 2 Q's, 2 U's, 2 I's, 2 S's.
You make a great tight end. You make a great tight end in Pittsburgh.
Hey, man.
What's her name? Heat, right?
Heath Miller.
Yeah.
And then we do it with Fry move now. You'll fit. You might as well try it. Why not?
Yeah,
You
I
got
run a
me.
4-3 now. I run a 4-3 now, man.
You got me. You got Keys. Keenan. Where can they find you?
On both Twitter and Instagram, big with 2 G's _ K64.
Big _ K64 on the Twitter and Instagram. Well, guess what, guys? You can find us, Feel the Burn podcast, on every platform you can think of. You can find us here on YouTube at Feel the Burn Podcast. You can find us on Apple and Spotify at Feel the Burn Podcast. You can find us on TikTok at Feel the Burn Podcast. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at Feel the Burn Pod. Is that it? I think that's it. Yeah, you can find us, Feel the Burn Podcast, Feel the Burn Pod. You can find us wherever you listen to podcasts. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe, make sure you interact with us and tell us what you want us to talk about. Tell us who you want to hear from. Give us some suggestions on special guests you may want on the show. We are willing to do it all. This, guys, is Feel the Burn. Thank you for tuning in.